you want to see this team not be able to get distracted in a week where this is a very distracting week, because it is now coming down to the Big 12 championship, and people are talking about all the different odds of the Big 12 championship. People are talking about, how you're still not technically in the Big 12 championship. You got to win, and you win, but you control your own fate there. They're talking about the college football playoff, and now there's a Jordan Travis injury, and maybe that opens a door. And, Oregon's playing Oregon State, and maybe Oregon State pulls off the upset, and now that puts you a step closer. And, maybe somewhere else, maybe you get a win somewhere else. Maybe, Michigan, Ohio State, maybe Ohio State wins that game by 20, and then Michigan just knocked out of the way, and you can climb right back up into it. There's a lot of distractions going on right now, and it's very important for this Texas team to keep it going in the right mindset and keep it in that one game at a time. Sark talked about the importance of the game when he was asked about, this is a win and you're in, but, how do you feel about trying to teach your team that this is an important game, that this, you got to 10 wins. It feels like the gas is, it feels like you can kind of take a little bit of relaxation. It's a holiday week, everything going into it. How do you keep that mentality? Here's Sark talking about the importance of the game and telling his players about the importance of the game.
We haven't necessarily had to put more of an emphasis on this game, because I mean this when I tell you, after the OU game, I've made it a point that every game we played, the first thing I talked about to the team every morning, every Monday morning, every Friday night, this is a Big 12 championship game. We feel like we've been playing Big 12 championship games one week after another. We know the value of them. We know the importance of them. You never know how it's going to shake out. And we just did not want to put ourselves in position where we were relying on other people. And so I don't feel like in this week that I have to do more than that. I think that our players understand, hey, we went into this season with a mission to try to be champions. We felt like we were more than capable to do that, but that we would have to handle our business along the way. I think we've performed that way, but the work's not done. And so it's not something that we shy away from or need to shy away from, but it's also not something that I need to make it even bigger this week, because we've been talking this way now for almost 2 months, that of every game and the importance of the games, each weekend. And so I think our players are going to prepare really well, like they have been. I think they're going to go into the ball game with a clear mind and composed and poised, and try to play their best football. And then we'll see if it's good enough.
And so we talk about that distraction of, college football playoffs. We talk about the distraction of the Big 12 championship game. And then you throw in the fact that this is Texas Tech. So there's automatically a distraction of Texas Tech fans being Texas Tech fans. And there's going to be a lot of talk around the game. And while they're not playing as great as they normally have, they do have some hope. Baron Morton is playing okay football and maybe getting a little bit better. Maybe we can get into that. Maybe they feel that Taj Brooks is he's a Doak Walker Award semifinalist along with Jonathan Brooks. So maybe they feel they got some love that they can show right there. And we know that this is a Texas team that's been dealing with or been talked about since the beginning of the season. This was the game that Brett Yormark made his comments that he was going to be there at the game, and that he was hoping that Texas Tech would get the job done. And I don't think he doesn't want Texas Tech to knock Texas out of the Big 12 championship. Of course he wants it. It's better for the Big 12 if one of those teams gets in. If Texas were to get in the college football playoff, sure it'd be better for him. But I don't know if that's 100% what he's thinking, because he thinks, well, next year they're going to be leaving, which, by the way, there was news today that Cam Rising is going to come back for his 7th season at Utah. So there's your front runner to win the Big 12 next year. So he's got his team for next year if Cam Rising is coming back. But that not being said, Sark was asked about Brett Yormark in the comment and if he's spoken to him, and they've cleared the air since then. And Sark didn't really give it that they cleared the air. He said he's talked to him, but he didn't say it cleared the air. Here's Sark talking when he was asked about Brett Yormark's comments, the commissioner of the Big 12, at the beginning of the season when he was in Lubbock, and hoped that Texas would lose against Lubbock in Austin.
There was nothing to smooth over. He for me, we've been on this kick here for months now. This whole situation, us leaving the Big 12, our players didn't choose to leave the Big 12, right? They came to play for the University of Texas. What conference we're in, that's not what our players. They're just choosing to put on the burnt orange and white and run out of the tunnel. And so to whether the commissioner's rooting against our players to win or not, or we're in the SEC or we're in the Big 12, at the end of the day, our guys just want to play good football and they want to win. And so we've tried to consume ourselves with what we need to do. As you guys have heard me say, we need to be enamored with us. And that's something that we've done. And that's been our focus. And I think that's why our players have been so poised and so composed, even on the road, as we go on the road and the success we've had there, because we haven't gotten caught up in what's going on outside. We've really tried to quiet the noise. We've really tried to stay focused on one another and how we can continue to support one another. And so, for the commissioner, we've had plenty of conversations, and he is coming. I got a chance to see him. He was in Ames Saturday night. He'll be here Friday. And I'm hopefully we put on a heck of a show for him. That's what I want. He's a commissioner of our conference, and I'm hopeful that when he watches us play, he's proud of the way that we play and representing the Big 12, because that's the conference we're in right now.
There's a classy answer from Sark. He does start it off like, I don't know what there's a smooth over. He said what he said. We know what he said. And we're going to go out there and try and prove him wrong and go win the game. And that's what you want to do, is you go, look, we want to go prove it. And we want to go and we want to win a national title as Big 12 champion. That's what we'd like to do. Now you're going to need some help to get there, but you want to win the Big 12 championship first. And that's the point. There's a lot of distractions that are coming out this week. This is just a busy week for everybody. You're also talking about finals and players. Some players may graduate early. Some players are, just trying to get through their schoolwork. Some players are trying to figure out, the younger players trying to figure out, this is their first semester of finals for some of these guys. There's that going on. You have the Thanksgiving holiday where you're going to go back and see family and deal with all of that. You've got thrown in that it's Texas Tech, and they're going to be hitting you up on social media and everywhere else to try and get into your brain and try and mess with you. You've got the fact that you're 10-1 and people are saying that Texas is back, and I know we're not saying that, but people are saying it, so you have to deal with that. You feel like you're already in the Big 12 championship, but you still got to get into it. There's a college football playoff. There's a lot of noise around this program right now, but Texas can go out there and handle this Texas Tech team. I don't know if it'll be easy because it hasn't been all season, so I don't want to pretend that all of a sudden they're going to be able to be a team to close teams out and win by 40. But I think they can go into this Texas Tech game on senior night, have a great game, and be able to keep Texas Tech at bay. And we can talk more about it, and I want to play this clip from Hook 'em Up as well. But the reality is Texas Tech is a running football team, and one thing Texas does well is stop the run. So the reality of the main thing Texas Tech does to try and win football games, Texas knows how to stop it. So this is a game that Texas should be able to handle their business. But you got to let the distractions be not next to you. Let them push those distractions away, and you need to be able to step up and play your style of football. Don't play down to Texas Tech. Play your style of football at home. Close out the season good.